Hello, everyone. It's Professor Muldrow again. And today we're going to talk about, like the slide says, how to guard against users who don't get it. That's users who try to enter a type of data that's not acceptable to your program. Like, for example, suppose you have a program like this one on the slide that expects the user to enter an integer. But suppose the user enters a number with a decimal point or even a character. In both cases, the program crashes. A way you can guard against that is to use one of these has-next methods built into Java. We already use next methods with a scanner object to get data from the user. A has-next method will be able to preview what the user has entered and return a true if it is the type of data you want, and return false if it is not the type of data you want. And if that method returns false, you're able to do something to not let the program crash. So for example, on the slide, we've created a getInt method that has two parameters, a scanner and a string. Calling it from right here in main. What this method does is it prompts the user to enter a number and then uses a hasNextInt method to make sure it's an integer. If the value is not an integer, you discard it, display an error message, and prompt the user to enter it again. They don't get out of this while loop until they get it right. So that example is how you would guard against user input error. You could also use the method that you created to get a minimum value. Here in this while loop, I want to be sure I get a value that is 5 or bigger. If it's not, display an error message, and then use this new method to get the proper value. Now over here in my code, here's my wind speed program that I used before. Now the wind speed variable is of type double. Here. So I have created a getDouble method that will make sure if the user doesn't enter a double or something that can't go into a double variable, they'll see an error message and have to enter it again. I also want to be sure I get a wind speed that's at least 23 miles an hour. So if I run this program, see what happens. Okay, suppose I enter the letter X for the wind speed. I'm told invalid, try again, which is exactly what the getDouble method is supposed to do. It prints invalid, tells me to do it again. Okay, I'll do it again. Enter a Y. There you go. Try again. Now, suppose I enter a 22. That's a valid number, but it's not bigger than 23. So now this while loop in main takes over and says, no, has to be 23 or greater. Try again. One more time, 25. And now I get a tropical depression and the program is over. If you have any questions, please send me an email at kmuldrow@lbcc.edu.